A layman looks at the book of Revelation. Keith Gorgas 2021. The Revelation of Jesus Christ. Revelation chapter 10. From chapter 10 verse 1 to chapter 11 verse 14 is another divine parenthesis of great significance. And I saw another strong angel coming down out of the heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow on his head, and his face as the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. Among far godlier and educated scholars than I could ever dream of being, there is two main schools of thought. Many esteemed writers hold this strong angel to be the Lord Jesus Christ, in angelic garb. Others, equally qualified and credible teachers, maintain that this is an unnamed angel of very high order. I am not sure which view is correct, so I will just go by the words written here. The word angel means messenger, and there are several times in the Old Testament when the second person of the Godhead is seen as the angel of the Lord. This angel is of magnificent and majestic appearance. Clothed in a cloud, with a rainbow around his head, his face shining as the sun and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot on the sea, and the left on the earth. He has an opened little book. We read earlier that no one, other than the Lamb, was found worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof. When Daniel was given a series of end-time prophecies, he was told to seal some of the things told him until the end times. A studious author, James Morris, holds that this little book is the book of Daniel. He has written an excellent book on the subject. The book is not yet in print. The angel had 1 foot on the sea, and 1 foot on the land. At this time, the Lord's dominion over both the nations and Israel is about to be put on full display. Shortly we will be introduced to 2 beasts, one out of the sea and one out of the land. God's supreme authority over both spheres is being announced here. Of course, God has always been ultimately supreme and ruled the universe according to his own will, but he has remained hidden from mortal eyes for thousands of years, and this portion depicts a time of revelation. And cried with a loud voice, as a lion roareth, and when he cried, the 7 thunders uttered their own voices. The angel cried with a loud voice, likened to a lion's roar. The lion is, of course, the king of the beasts, and the Lord Jesus is presented earlier as the lion of the tribe of Judah, leaving open, at least to my mind, the possibility that this strong angel is the Lord Jesus Christ. The response to his roar is 7 thunders thundering. The voice of God is described in several places as thunder. And when the 7 thunders spoke, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from the heaven, saying, seal the things which the 7 thunders spoke, and write them not. Part of the coming judgment is kept secret by God. John was told to seal up those things and not write them. He must have understood them. It would be nothing short of reckless folly for us to try to imagine what they are. There are things in which we must be content to let God be God. The hidden things belong to the Lord, but that which is revealed belongs to us. And the angel whom I saw standing on the sea and on the earth lifted up his right hand unto the heaven, and sware by him that liveth unto the ages of the ages, who created the heaven and the things therein, and the earth and the things therein, and the sea and the things therein, that there should be no more space. God has been so slow to wrath, so patient with mankind, that some confuse his patience with slothfulness. Now, finally, all patience is gone, and the uninterrupted wrath of God will be poured out unrelentingly from this point on. But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he is to sound, the mystery of God should be finished, as he announced the glad tidings to his servants the prophets. Some have supposed that mystery of God here to be the church, as there were 7 mysteries concerning the church that Paul was assigned to tell us of. This, I believe, is an improper interpretation. Instead, I think what is being referred to is the purpose which God has purposed upon the whole earth. Isaiah chapter 14 verse 26, this is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. And the voice which I heard from heaven was again speaking with me, and said, Go, take the book that is open in the hand of the angel that standeth on the sea and on the earth. John is given a direct celestial command, to take then open book from the hand of the angel. And I went away to the angel, saying to him that he should give me the little book. And he said to me, Take, and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but in thy mouth it shall be sweet as honey. Here seems to be a clue that the angel is not the Lord Jesus. It would be very hard to picture John, who had seen the Lord among the candlesticks and fallen at his feet as dead, and had also seen him as the freshly wounded lamb at the center of heaven's praise, then telling the Lord that he should do anything. The angel warns him that although the little book will be sweet as honey in his mouth, yet will make his belly bitter as he digests it. And I took the little book out of the hand of the angel, and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey, and when I ate it, my belly was made bitter. It turned out to be just as the angel told him it would be. The book was sweet in his mouth but bitter in his belly. Perhaps you have had this experience with prophetic scriptures. We take them in, and they are sweet as we think of the Lord Jesus being given his rightful place, of the promises to Israel being fulfilled, and of our own joy and eternal blessing in the Father's house. Then as we contemplate the solemnity of God's judgments on the wicked, even some of our family and friends, we are filled with apprehension and sorrow. Daniel was greatly troubled by some of the things he saw in dreams and visions. And they say to me, Thou must again prophesy of peoples and of nations and tongues and many kings. A plurality of voices, they tell John that he must again prophesy of peoples, nations, and many kings. What comes next in this book is also very much the subject of Daniel's prophecies, as well as other Old Testament prophets and the Lord's Olivet Discourse. Just to refresh ourselves, the book of Revelation, after the 4th chapter, is about several concurrent things. We have Daniel's 70th week, during which God brings his earthly people, Israel, to a full confession of sin and restoration. That will involve cleansing the temple and the establishment of a righteous kingdom, with the Lord the King over all the earth. At the same time, we have God abandoning the faithless Christ-rejecting world to its own devices and then intervening in judgment, a judgment long ago decreed, but held back by the restrainer and the long-suffering grace of God. The nations will be individually judged according to their treatment of Israel. The times of the Gentiles, which began with King Nebuchadnezzar, will culminate in the Lord Jesus, that stone not cut with man's hands, becoming a great mountain that fills the whole earth. And he will take his rightful place as King of kings and Lord of lords.